Mercedes, Miss Kelly, she said. Eyes wide and shining from her still hopeful soul, one of a handful of hard-to-serve, lowest-curve kids in my leg-up class in high school at Finch in Liverpool. Street kids, some, street smart, all tumbling into my class with crass indifference, already guarded against a world not yet theirs, shrugging with who cares attitudes and long silent stares. Mercedes, just one of 16 students in a class, at-risk kids struggling to find a place to feel safe but unable to see the forest for the trees. And how can you when you're lost? It's hard to stay between the lines when you're stepping on facts, whacking at cats and breaking mothers' backs, when you're one of the many babes in the bath, tossed and falling through the cracks. But there to teach me too, who knew that my high school problems of zits, clicks, and no tits would never compare to their school of hard hits, of living on the streets with nothing to eat, of incest and violence and forced silence, a life hollow with neglect, insubstantial and running headlong toward addiction, a pastime that strips a life of full potential. Call me Mercedes, Miss Kelly, she said. And knowing Amanda had been raped, her mind self-recreated, her once being assassinated, her slight body impregnated, and left with an STD just for fun. And one of 16 kids sitting in a chair, not quite there, and waiting to be taught what? Like I said, these were high-risk kids, hard to serve, some on parole, some on the dole, all holding the dirty end of a 10-foot pole. What could I teach them? Shakespearean sonnets and active verbs made no sense. They're past 2 tenths to teach past tense. Teachers, college hadn't prepared me for this. In a high school at Liverpool and Finch, a class of kids at high risk. Where's the curriculum for this? For these hurting creatures, the scattered reflections of the sins of the world. And you know, I'm no social worker, no miracle looker, no lamb of God. I'm just an English teacher. But a mother, too, with a back, and working with the least of my brothers, their lives touching mine and mine, theirs and theirs, others, a domino effect of falling house of cards, and wondering the whole time who started this whole problem, and where do we find the will to rebuild when human greed, human need seems to supersede everything, and I'm just an English teacher, picking up the deck one at a time, and armed with only what I know. You've got to start from where they're at. We all have to be reborn, renamed, reframed into a likeness of our better selves. And at 16, Amanda had to find herself, love herself, and start all over again with a new name, a new being, carrying her hopeful soul in a battered bag to high school classes she better not skip. God forbid! Call me Mercedes, Miss Kelly, she said. So I did.